we talked about the trenches, because I think the game was, and like most games in the NFL, they're won and lost in the trenches. And I think tonight, we talked about the AFC Championship game. Those three guys were getting back to us relentlessly, Hubbard and Hendrickson. We talked about it, how, we needed a guy like a Hendrickson or a Hubbard in the draft. That's when we won in the offseason. We ended up got Carl Loftus, who's got a high motor, high energy guy. But tonight, again, it was a kind of a repeat of the AFC Championship game. They were getting back there. They were causing havoc all game long with that three-man rush. Many people online are criticizing Orlando Brown's play. What did you see from our O-line and what their pass rush was able to do to kind of, screw up things for us?
Well, I mean, at the end, it's the same thing. You got to trust guys to step up. And they was able to get in. The inside moved on Orlando Brown, able to flush Patrick out the pocket. And that's the thing about it. If you're able to disrupt the timing of a quarterback, where he's able to move, he has to move to throw the football. That's what you want to be able to do on defense, right? You want him to make an errant throw. You want to make something that he's not comfortable doing. We got to be able to make sure that we stay in stout on the inside to make sure to keep everything filtered out. We want Patrick to have a clean pocket so he can throw the football. Look, if you have quarterback, and I'm talking about a Patrick Mahomes who could make every throw possible, but you want him to be at his best. You want him to be as comfortable as possible. You don't want him running around. Yeah, he does a great job running with his legs, but at the end of the game, you want him to be, you don't want him touched. You want him to see pristine lanes. You want to see all those different things from him, and he shouldn't have to be running around toward the end. So, yeah, he's running around. I know they said McKinnon was open over in to the side, but when Patrick was moving up, he actually had somebody was coming open. I think he was going to try to throw to him, and they clipped him at the end. So I just, for the life of me, I just don't understand. If you're going to get beat, man, hold a guy, something like that. To me, it just doesn't make any sense, man. It was kind of a bad play, I guess, on OBJ toward the end, and I think he knows it. Could have did a lot better, no doubt about it, man. But the line in itself, at the end, I think the defensive line at the beginning just didn't play stellar football. They just didn't. They just did not. That's what I seen. Glaringly, that's what I saw.
Lance, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, JD, like I said, I know before JD came on, I almost made it somewhat of a defense for OBJ just because of the fact that hearing previous guys that have protected in this league at the tackle position in particular, and in particular here in Kansas City for Patrick Mahomes, they talk about how it is difficult to defend to block for a guy that is that creative with his feet, that will run around the pocket and off schedule throws, things of that nature, that sometimes when you have upfront pressure and you contain your guys, sometimes it doesn't matter because Patrick will go out to the outside, run around, try to create, and it looks like you gave up a pressure, though sometimes it actually isn't you that's doing it. I agree that it's so confusing how the Chiefs struggle with something that seems to be a lot more simple than facing guys that are stacked 8 in the box. When you have guys that are coming at you, 5, 6, 7 deep, I can understand why giving up pressure is a reality in that scenario. But when you're facing 3 guys and none of them are Reggie White, none of them are Von Miller, none of them are Nick Bosa, it's very confusing that the Chiefs continue to struggle with that, both from Patrick Mahomes' standpoint and from the offensive line standpoint. It's so frustrating to see that. And I think that is the biggest reason why I have the concerns I have when it comes to facing the Bengals, because now we have 3 games of an actual sample size.
Well, I say this. Scheme-wise, I think if you know that they're rushing 3, then you're looking at the help. The help has to be toward the outside a little bit more, right? I mean, it needs to be solidified. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this. McKinnon was sitting. He's setting to help Orlando on the outside. The guy comes inside. Bethune is helping Creed on the inside, and he actually didn't have anybody there. So when you're kind of looking at this, the type of guys they have on defense is the guys that absolutely plague what Patrick Mahomes does. Let me put it that way, right? So they don't have to be no-name guys. These guys are just hustling guys. When we seen it, that's what the defense gives you. Hendricks and all those guys, they are hustling guys. I was looking at him when he ran Patrick out of bounds. at the end of the game, I'm like, dang God, there he is, Hendricks again. He's a high motor, nonstop guy. He's just going to be a gnat that's always on you all the time. That's what it is. And so what makes it difficult with that, and look, we got to just talk scheme wise, okay? Because we got to realize is they're dropping 8, okay? If you got 3 rushing, that means 8 are out in pass protection. So they're sitting up in lanes, okay? They understand what they do. But the thing is, defensively, they just want to get him off his grass running. That's what they want to be able to do. That's it. That's all that matters, because you got 8 sitting back, saying, look, you only got 4 guys out here in pass to catch a pass. So we just sit over in the lanes. We're going to just mirror them guys, put our hands on him, disrupt them as much as possible. We get them, moving, Patrick moving out. That's what it is. So it's the defensive scheme wise, just how you try to attack it. So, like you said, hustle and contain. That's it. So the thing is, it's purposeful, the things that they're doing. All right, yeah. It's not like we just gonna rush this way. No, let's flush him out this time, because we want him either running over to his left or running to his right, because how we putting the defense out. That's what it is. And so it is. Yeah. Where's the pass rush? No pass. We weren't getting pass rush back there on Joe Burrow. So I look at a lot of the gameplay. That's what I'm looking at. And so, yeah, the Bengals, look, we lost them 3 times in a row. Okay. All about 3 points or less. To me, the game could go either way.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.